This is Lewis up for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted today to join with Galal Yafai here at a press conference for your fight with Sonny Edwards. Edwards Yafai has another rendition now, and it's almost like the younger brothers coming through. But yeah, other than that, how's things, mate? How are we ahead of Saturday the 30th of November?
Yeah, all good, you know. Not long fought now, what was it, on Saturday, a few days ago. So yeah, it's kind of trying to do a few of the media runs and whatnot for this fight. So before ramp really, ramps up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just going to touch on that now. Obviously, you fought on Saturday, and that fight was announced almost after the Edwards fight was announced. I know it was always your plan that you wanted to get one more in. Was there any sort of worries or lingering thoughts back in your mind? I know you'd be confident in yourself, but I think when everyone announced, everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know about this." Was there ever any worries about it?
Obviously, you never know what's going to happen, do you? I wasn't worried about losing the fight, but it's about getting injury or getting a cut. Especially when you fight these Mexicans as well, man. They'll come to fight, so you never know, a cut can happen. And I've never been shy from getting a cut or anything, but now, touch wood, thank God it worked out all right. Got a few rounds, which is what I needed. I've explained that 4 or 5 times now. I didn't want too long at the ring. 8 months for me at the ring is no good, especially when I'm going up against one of the best in the division, or one of the top boys in the division. It's not the best preparation, especially when I've never been 12 rounds before. So I've got to be selfish, and I am, and I had to be. So yeah, no excuses now. I've had a fight. Now just get ready for that.
Definitely, and we'll get onto it now. Obviously, the fight is here, and I think it was always something spoke about. I think I done an interview actually after Sonny beat Campos at Wembley Arena. I remember there was like you and him were chatting in the ring after the fight, and he was chatting to each other. And I think it was sort of something that was expected maybe down the line. Was you surprised about how early it's come for yourself, especially in your career?
I don't know if I was surprised. I knew it wasn't going to take too long for it to happen. I was never going to have 20, 30 fights before it happened. It just made perfect sense. So now, Matching come up with it. We were happy with it. The only thing that was going to stop it from happening was, and I don't like to mention it too much, but the money was the only thing that wasn't going to stop it from happening. But thankfully, all that's well. So yeah, we can put it all on the line now and see who the better man is.
Definitely, for sure. And I guess the fight, the names, Edwards and the Yafai names, they don't need no introduction. They've not crossed paths before, but there's been that back and forth with obviously Charlie and Cal and stuff. And is that, like, for yourself, you're always humble, you're not this person's going to start flipping tables and that, but is that sort of that family name, is it something you buy into, would you say, that to sell a fight?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's not even Cal and Charlie, really. It's me and Sonny. We had a lot of I'm going to say, it wasn't beef, it was just history. It's a rivalry. Like in sport, you have rivalries, you fight 2-3 times and whatnot. And it started like 9-10 years ago when we first fought. And he beat me on a split decision, like 10 years ago. So yeah, he's got one up on me. And then we sparred numerous times, and I got picked to go to the Olympics ahead of him, and he didn't like it. And then I win gold, and he wins a world title. And we were on our own paths, but it was always going to collide. We was always going to meet in the middle, and that time is now. So now we get to put it right, and like what I said earlier, see who the man is.
Definitely. And when, and I mentioned obviously of Charlie and Cal, because obviously they were going back and forth, and it was a clear, like, the Yafai there was always that rivalry there. Like, out of interest, like when obviously yourself and Sonny were always batting out for GB, like, was there ever spoken about much between you, like when you were sort of in and around camps and that, about sort of the family beef in a sense?
No, not really. You know what it is. Everyone tries to take it really personal. I don't. I'm just thinking it as strictly it's a sport, innit? I'm fighting Sonny. We're cool before, we'll be cool after. Yeah, he's gonna say a few things that I know he's had a few words with my brother back and forth, Gamal, but that's just what kind of person Gamal is. But see me, I'm just laid back, man. Like, it's just sport for me. I want to beat him in the ring. I don't care about after or on the outside. I don't give a shit. I just want to fight, win, and then move on.
But is there part of you that admits that this is like it's like a long-standing rivalry aside from, because we were just chatting off camera about how the GB setup, and anyone you talk, it needs no introduction of how competitive it is, especially when you got guys throughout your weight class. Like, it's always competitive. So you've gone now from being competitive for the flyweight position at GB to now professionals and clashing it. So it is, would you say, it is definitely deep rooted, maybe not in beef, but in competitiveness for sure.
1,000,000%. This is one of the most in British boxing. Like I said, 10 years ago. So 10 years is a long time. How old are you 10 years ago?
Well, it's my birthday today, so I would have been 12. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, so 12. So when you were 12, we were like fighting when nobody cared about us. Nobody knew us. Nobody cared about us in their ABAs or whatever it was. But now we get to fight when everyone's watching. But yeah, you can just imagine how much that's been bubbling over the years, especially with the Olympic stuff and, you know, things like the sparring. And I went on to win Olympic gold and he went on to be world champion. And so, to be fair, we've both done our bit. You know, he could have let me down and not been a world champion, and I probably wouldn't be getting a high profile fight like I am now if he wasn't world champion. And he probably wouldn't be getting a high profile fight if I didn't become Olympic champion. So we've both done our bit of the bargain. So now we can fight and we meet in the middle.
One thing I always wanted to ask you, and when you listen to a lot of Sonny's interviews, and I'm sure he'll say it in a few times today, and he said it previously before the fight was made, but he always talked about sort of GB always favouring yourself and being you being the favourite or Rob's favourite, etc. And for yourself, what you've achieved as an amateur, I think, you know, the multiple European medals you've won, the gold medal at the Olympics. Did you ever find that disrespectful, them comments, or sort of discrediting yourself and your ability?
Nah, you know, it goes over my head. Don't really care. I think what I've done, it just speaks for itself. Olympic champion. I don't even need to put the rest of what I've won in. You know, when I fought Sonny, I was a grafter. I was working. I was a grafter. So they always had the advantage over me. I was older, but you know, I didn't have the experience. You know, I shouldn't probably have been fighting them guys. But it showed in a few years after that the cream rose to the top, and yeah, that's me winning Olympic gold.
Absolutely, and obviously big connotations for this fight. WBC interim title, first time doing 12 rounds that you said. You know, you've always been known for your immense pressure, and Sonny's always sort of been the sort of more elusive fighter. So when you look at it as a style matchup, like the pressure fighter against often an elusive fighter, it makes for a real interesting clash of styles.
Yeah, and if you've seen the spars, then you would see that as well, or you would say that. But then, you know, it's not even down to just styles as well, it's our mindset. Sonny's stubborn. I know Sonny, like he's stubborn. Even when I sparred him, he's been stubborn, he doesn't want to give in. Even if he's tired or, you know, he's having a harder day, he's stubborn. Same for me, I'm stubborn, man. I do not want to give in, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to lose to him, and he doesn't want to lose to me. So I think that's what's going to tell him fight night, and what's going to... I know people are a bit more excited about this fight, but trust me, when they actually see the fight, it's going to live up to expectation.
And doing the rounds for something like yourself, where you're very confident you can hold that pressure for 12 rounds?
Can he hold the pressure?
No, well, I guess that's a question for Sonny, isn't it? Oh. But I'm saying, like, for yourself, with your style, like, what's it like transitioning that over 12 rounds now? Sorry, that's more what I meant.
Yeah. We'll see, won't we? I've got to train, obviously. I always train hard, but this is a high-profile fight. For us, anyway, you know, we're not like heavyweights where it's a massive fight and there's hundreds of thousands of people watching, or, well, tens of thousands of people there. But it's a big fight relative to our weights, and it's a high-profile situation as well. It's I ain't been in them kind of fights. To be quite frank, no one's really been asked when I fight in America or against people that nobody knows. But I'm fighting Sonny Edwards now. He's a former world champion. He's someone people know, and it's an all British fight, so they're the ones that I get up for.
Absolutely. Galal, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Really appreciate catching up with you, and yeah, all the best on for November, mate. Appreciate it.